Hi guys, so today we've got quite an interesting van in. It's not one of our usuals. It's a Ford Transit all-wheel drive. Usually we're working on Volkswagens or Mans or Sprinters. Came with its own difficulties. We've really enjoyed working on it, but it's quite hard to get Ford Transit all-wheel drive parts in the UK. A lot of the stuff we've had to have shipped in from the States. The suspension system we've had to have shipped from the States to France because they weren't shipped to the UK. So that's been about a 6-month wait. We've done all sorts of modifications. The customer is taking his van to Iceland with his 2 motorbikes to go adventuring with his wife. He wants to be able to sleep in the van, but he doesn't want any home creature comforts. So we are kitting out the van with a rubberized floor. He's having all checker plate aluminium panels on the inside walls to avoid any sort of damage from getting his bikes in and out the back. We've got a big aluminium ramp coming in the back to help him load his bikes. On the inside, we're kitting him out with a full 12-volt electrical system, 240-volt electrical system for all his charging stuff. We've got front runner roof rack on the top. We've got a big light bar with dual LED strips on the top, so it'll light up all the way when he's in the off-beaten track over in Iceland. He's got a ladder for access in the back door, spare wheel carrier on the other back door. We're doing a full stage 4 topo lift kit, which should raise at about 60mm, I believe. Fitted a snorkel. Now, we couldn't get a snorkel for the Ford Transit because they don't make one. We might do another episode just on this alone. We've managed to customise a different snorkel and fit that with various parts to make it work for his Ford Transit. We've also fitted a £10,000 worn winch on the front with an A-bar, which we've modified slightly to accommodate the winch. And we've got a 6mm skid plate underneath to protect the engine and the sump guard. Come and let's have a look in the workshop. So you can see the Transit here, it looks a lot more aggressive, just with all the extra styling that's been put on it. Can't wait to see what it's going to look like once it's got the lift kit on. The A-bar helps, but this was asked specifically for the customer. We've got the worn winch, which we've cut in to the back so it sits in behind the bumper. We've added some plates and modified the front so that it fits in with the A-bar, because otherwise this would just wreak havoc with the black powder coating. We've also got a skid plate underneath. Snorkel fitted onto the side. Customer's going to be doing a lot of river crossings over in Iceland. On the top we've got a double layer light bar, make sure you can see exactly where he's going in the offbeat tracks. We've got our front runner roof rack. We've fitted a Fiamma F80S wind out awning onto the side, because he'll no doubt have some bad weather when he's loading his gear in and out. We've fitted some rogue alloys on BF Goodrich's all-terrains. The guys are currently fitting the fuel sender for his Eberspacher night heater, keep him and his wife a wee bit warmer in the middle of the night. If we look into the inside, we've got his electrical system being built into a panel in the wall. This will then be covered up with this panel here with a checker plate. The whole side's going to be checker plate. Carpeted roof for a wee bit of home comforts. We've got a 1000-watt inverter and a CBE electrical kit going in there. So it's going to have a control panel on the top with his heating controller and some USBs for him to charge. In the side we have his water fill point going in, where his fresh water tanks and grey water tanks will be fitted underneath the side of the van. So the water pipe will come in there, down the inside skin of the van and fill up those tanks, bring the pipe work in and leaving that for the customer because he wants to build his own small furniture pod and put a small sink in there. He's not sure where that's going to go yet. This bulkhead will be going back in. He's having a rubberized floor. They've been sleeping on the ground in their tents in Iceland, so I think anything's going to be an upgrade for them both. We have fully soundproof insulated the rest of the van. This panel here is still in the process of having its insulation fitted. That'll get finalised once the wiring is all completed. So we've got this aluminium ramp coming on. It's got gas struts, so for easy operation. That's going to be fitted right in at the back doors here. He'll be able to pull that down by himself, load the bikes back into the van, stand it up, and it'll hardly take any room. It'll stand up here, take the van measurements, give it to the guys, and they bespoke make them. Clad the back panels of the van. These have all then been soundproofed as well to take away any road noise while you're driving. In the back here, we've got a front runner ladder taking you up to the roof rack, front runner rear LED strip just to light this whole area for him to load and unload. We've fitted a Williams spare wheel carrier to mount his 5th wheel. So if you follow me around to the back of the van, I'll show you what we've been doing. So because these guys are taking their motorbikes away, we've fitted an aluminium motorbike ramp. It's good for loading bikes on and off the van. It's good till about 500 kg. It's about 2.5 metres long. It's fully air assisted as well. our walls are fully soundproofed, insulated, and then we've built these checker plate interior panels. Our customer's going to be bringing his off-road motorbikes in and out the van regularly, so it's going to be scratching up the sides. If this was carpeted, they'd be getting wet, they'd be getting damaged. So we've soundproofed the back of these just to get rid of the road noise. We've also put in these airline cargo tie downs just to give them some extra points to fix things onto. These can just clip on and clip off wherever you want. It gives you a solid fixing to secure your bike onto the side. He's got a couple of points either side, and you can add and take away more of these, as many as you like. Customer supplied a system so he can ride his bike on, lock his wheel into place, put his bike in, it'll stop it from wobbling. He's not going to have this bolted down into the floor. I think he's just going to have this loose. At night time when he leaves the bikes outside, they can just push these out of the way. He and his wife can both camp out on this floor with a good bit more space. So, final part of our install, the 12 volt and 240 volt electrical system. So we went with a CB electrical system. It's controlled by this smart digital controller up here. This will give us our battery readings for the leisure battery and for the starter battery, water tank levels for the freshwater and wastewater. We've got an exterior light switch, we've got the pump switch for when he does connect up his own sink and tap, and then we've got the 12 volt switch, which is a master switch for all his 12 volt appliances. So we've hooked that up to his USB, USB-C and all his lights, so you can turn everything off just at one button, rather than going around to the individual light switches. From that CBE system, we have his main consumer unit for the 240 volt, and that gives him his main trips. Then we've got his distribution box for his 12 volt appliances with his blade fuses in there. This is his charging unit for his 240 volt system, and this will then charge on his leisure batteries as soon as he plugs in power. And he's got a double household socket there for laptops and what have you on the move. This is his 1000 watt Renogy inverter. So this will take 12 volt battery power and convert it into 240 volt household power, so that when he's off grid and he's not got the ability to plug in, he can still use the 240 volt 3 pin 13 amp household socket on the top. Really gives a kind of versatility to the electrical system. Up here we have tank heaters for his fresh water and his wastewater, so if he's out in cold climates he can stop his water from freezing. We've got his electrical system, a little digital controller for his Eberspacher night heater, which we've got on just now because it's absolutely freezing. So yeah, he's pretty much got everything he needs there, and we've kind of future-proofed it as well. We've run extra cables, so if he needs anything, he can just unbutton this and pull it out, and there'll be cables there for adding in more 12 volt sockets should he need them as and when, or more lights. We'll see how the customer feels about it when he arrives shortly. Andy, you've got your van all kitted out now, ready for your adventures. Can you tell us a wee bit about where you're going to be taking the van and what you're going to be doing?
Yeah, sure. Well, the primary function is to carry my dirt bikes around so I can go green laning around UK and further afield. I also want to use the van to go on expeditions in Europe. It'll be France later this summer. Myself and my partner, she'll be my wife, then we're getting married in August. So we're going to go in the van, have a roof tent on the top, and we're going to go exploring France. But the big trip I'm planning for this thing is following summer 26, I want to go back to Iceland. Last time I went on a motorbike, which was great. I went there for 6 weeks, but it was hard work for an old git like me. So the van is means we can take the van, have 2 lightweight enduro bikes in the back, and do Iceland in a little bit more comfort, you know. So we've actually got the van to escape from the weather when we need to. That's the plan.
What kind of conditions are you going to be having over there? What's the roads like?
Well, you've got what they have in Iceland. They've got obviously got tarmac roads, but they've got the so-called F roads, which are mountain roads, kind of like gravel roads, and they go all over the island. So if you want to go and see the geology and all of the scenery, you need to go on the F roads, and it has to be a 4-wheel drive vehicle. So the van is 4-wheel drive, and so I bought it. So they're not that difficult. It's not like it's hardcore off-roading, but you do need to be prepared in case you get stuck in, well, the river crossings can be quite difficult, so you've got to be wary of those. Also, you can get deep volcanic ash in places, and that's something that you can get stuck in if you're not too careful. And you're a long way from anywhere if you do. So, so the idea is to try to be self-contained in the van and have the necessary winches and everything else to get ourselves out of trouble.
Excellent. So in terms of what you've chosen for the van, are you happy with the spec and all the gear that you've had?
Totally happy with what you guys have done. It's been absolutely awesome. I'm really happy with it. You've done exactly what I've asked for and more, which is just brilliant. Yeah, it's just what I'm looking for. It's not a camper van, as I said before. Didn't want a camper van. I wanted a van I could camp in.
Yeah.
So I still need to be able to put the dirt bikes in the back, and use it as a van.
Perfect. Well, we'll be very jealous when we hear about your travels.
I'll tell you all about it.
Yeah. Hopefully, when you come back, you'll come back and see us, or maybe we can do a video call for the podcast.
Absolutely, we'll do that. Yeah.
Smashing.
All
Thanks
right.
very much, Andy.
Thank you. Cheers.